Okay. Are you ready to start?
Yes.
And I think we can start because it's time. Maybe even 10 minutes more than 30 minutes. We should start. Okay. So I'm glad to see all of you here, and I hope you too. Today we open the next hour discussion or conversation club or safety and security club. Today, according to our schedule, we have two reports. The first one is related with blockchain and Bitcoin technology, and will be performed by Jean-Pierre. The second one related with the Scrum methodology and will be done by Stanislav. Maybe the first part of the report will be about 20 minutes. If it's enough, then we can discuss each report during the same time, and after that we can conclude or close our today's meeting, and maybe some of our guests may be next reporter, but let's start. So please, Jean-Pierre, you have 20 minutes for your report, and if you may allow to ask you directly during your report, all of you can ask any question during the report. But after that, we will discuss maybe the general idea of your report, and maybe you will propose us some part in the maybe not only blockchain technology, but in cryptocurrencies at all. So please.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I am Jean-Pierre, Master of Program for this department, Computer Systems and Networks, and Cybersecurity. Recently we changed, we add Cybersecurity. So today, it's my pleasure to see you here. I want to share with you a topic that has been spread in media everywhere. Some people understand it, the others they don't. But what I realized is that there is some misconception, misunderstanding about both Bitcoin and blockchain. So today, I'm sure after my presentation, you will understand what blockchain and Bitcoin are. So let me get started. My topic is get smart with blockchain and Bitcoin. So be informed about blockchain and Bitcoin. So this is my content. I'm starting from the back, the origin of Bitcoin, and then I will go to the Bitcoin, difference between Bitcoin and blockchain. Then I will show you how you can get started with blockchain or with Bitcoin when you are interested in Bitcoin. The next is common misconception between Bitcoin and blockchain. The next one will be how you can turn your Bitcoin into fiat currency. By fiat currency, I mean just money, normal money, as Ukrainian money, we have hryvnia, the United States, they have dollar, Japan, they have yen. So I will tell you how you can convert your currency into fiat money. And then I provide useful resources. It's free, you can go there, you can learn, you can be informed just for free. You can know more about Bitcoin and blockchain. So this is the origin of Bitcoin. October 31, 2008, there was a white paper. A white paper, it's a paper published by some people to let the world know what the problem is and how to solve the problem. So this white paper was published by Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't really know who he is. He will be one person or one state or just individual people, but still now we don't really know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. So all I know is the Japanese name. Satoshi Nakamoto is a Japanese name. So in his paper he said a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So it's cash, but electronic cash means you cannot touch it. It's just online money, internet money. So the whole world was like, this paper was like a wake-up call for people interested. This was the problem many scientists, engineers, they tried to solve, but they didn't make it. So that day, October 31, 2008, the people who were interested in cryptocurrency, they were very much interested in that white paper. So, and then let's see the difference between blockchain and Bitcoin. On the right side, here, my right side, we have Bitcoin. The left side, we have blockchain. So let me start by Bitcoin. It's just money. You can see a coin. That is the symbol of blockchain, Bitcoin, I mean. Sorry. And the other one is blockchain. It's just blocks, right? And then the difference between them is that Bitcoin is money, right? And blockchain is technology that enables Bitcoin to exist. Without blockchain, there is no any Bitcoin. That's the things you must take into consideration. The other difference is that Bitcoin is the money that is transferred between two individual people, while blockchain is just blocks that consist growing. They are tied together, they keep growing each other, and the next block depends to the previous one. That's blockchain. And then the next slide, before we understand what Bitcoin is, to go deep to understand it, let's see what Bitcoin is solving. Because as I said, October 2008, there was that white paper, and immediately after publishing that white paper, it was going all over the world. People were interested. So you may ask why? Why was such paper popular? This is the reason why behind. Let me start by explaining the traditional money transfer we have. It's called SWIFT transfer method. Because you are a businessman, you are here in Ukraine, maybe you want to buy some FPGAs devices from South Korea, right? Because South Korea is the best manufacturer of some electronic devices. So if you want to buy, they're quite expensive. Of course, you need to send money, to give money to the manufacturer, and then they will send those devices. So what you do, you go to the bank, you transfer your money to South Korea. It will take more than 2 days to get the money. And the money, the company, that bank, we have two people over here. It's our friends, Bob and Alice. Bob is going to transfer that money in South Korea to Alice. So Bob is dealing with Alice, right? And then Bob cannot send Alice the money without that third party called intermediary bank. So they need that intermediary bank so that it's there to verify transactions, to verify everything that is taking place. And it takes a little bit longer, like 2 days, 3 days, it can take even 4. So what Bitcoin did is this. Have a look. It cut that intermediary bank. That is why it's called peer-to-peer transaction. Transaction is taking place into two people. There is no one over there to control that transaction, except Bob and Alice. Now, Bitcoin has removed completely the third party. Now Bob can transfer his money to Alice without the third party. And the transaction is going to take a very short time. The time Bob is going to transfer his money, it will arrive instantly, which means it will not take it can even take 10 seconds, while the SWIFT method we had before, it can take 2 days, 3 days, and they take commission, which is not few money, right? You understand that the reason why it's very popular. Everyone wants to send his money immediately to reach to the person you are sending without the bank over there to verify all transactions. So now this is it. This is how Bitcoin works. It's Bob and Iris. Transfer the money without that intermediary bank. Remember, let's have a look a little bit. Before it was like this. Bank was over there to control all transactions, and now this is it. This is how Bitcoin will work between Bob and Iris. So now we've understood what Bitcoin is. Let's see how we can get started with using Bitcoin. The first thing we need to do is to be informed about Bitcoin, right? Because it's a new technology. You have to read different resources, books, so that you can understand it. And the second step is you get a wallet. You know, when you have money, you need something that you go put the money in. Like you have physical money, you have your wallet, you put the money in. So the Bitcoin, the same. If you want to have Bitcoin, you should have a wallet. Wallet, you put your Bitcoin, but in a virtual way. So those wallets, you can get them there. I will provide the resources after on some website. You can get wallets, and then once you get wallet, there is address. You get the address. So destination. What is your address? Where the Bitcoin is going to be transferred, and then you will get public key and private key. This is very essential because once you have those keys too, the public key will be used to send the money, your Bitcoin, and then your private key, it's a unique key that you have to keep it your own, keep it confidential. You will need it once you get Bitcoins. And then get Bitcoins. Once you get your Bitcoins, you can spend Bitcoins. You can buy, you can do whatever you want. It's your money. So now, converting your Bitcoin into fiat currency. So now you have Bitcoin. It's virtual money. You cannot touch it. You know, everywhere in the world, there are some countries where you can go there and you can run out of internet, you know, and you need physical money when you're traveling. More specifically, the money, the currency of the country you are in. For example, if you are traveling to Japan, you will need them. So if you are in Japan, it's like hryvnia are expired, right? So, but once you have your Bitcoin, don't worry, there is a way to turn your Bitcoin into local currency. That's fiat currency. Yeah, that's pretty much interesting. There is ATM for Bitcoin. Automated teller machine for Bitcoin. Currently in the world, we have 2,299 Bitcoin ATMs all over the world. They are located in 63 countries. By the way, in Ukraine, we have one ATM for Bitcoin. It's located in Odessa. So if you are traveling to Odessa and you have Bitcoin, don't worry. You are going to turn your money into, your Bitcoin into physical money, hryvnia or dollar. And we have 27 producers of those card ATM machines. So now there is a misconception about Bitcoin and blockchain. Because it's a new technology, we don't have experts in that field. Some people don't understand it, so there's some misconception. There's number one, Bitcoin is anonymous, which means it doesn't have address. It's something you can know about. Bitcoin is not fully anonymous because it's what we call pseudo-anonymous. Because there was a good story about Bitcoin there was a guy who was running a company that was selling drugs online. It was a big company making huge money. He was using Bitcoin to pay. So he was thinking Bitcoin is anonymous. He was thinking no one will catch him, but FBI, they followed the Bitcoin and then they caught him. This is mean that Bitcoin is not 100% anonymous. There are some other cryptocurrencies that are pure anonymous, but Bitcoin is pseudo-anonymous. It's not 100% anonymous. There's another misconception that Bitcoin is used for criminal activity, around the money. No, it's not true, because Bitcoin, we have so many companies, big brands, that accept Bitcoin as a payment. For example, Microsoft, they accept Bitcoin as a payment. Tesla, Tesla, they accept Bitcoin as a payment. Bitcoin is not used by criminal activity. So the other misconception is that blockchain is a database. No, blockchain is not a database, because when you have your database, you can go in and you can make a change when there's a mistake. But for example, for blockchain, when you did something, it's not possible to come back. It's what we call immutable. For example, if you transfer money, there's no way to get your money back. So blockchain is not a database. Now, blockchain is Bitcoin. No, that's a misconception. Blockchain is not Bitcoin, because blockchain is the technology that uses cryptographic functions to solve high mathematical problems to generate Bitcoin. So without blockchain, there is no Bitcoin. So there's another misconception that you need to buy a full Bitcoin. No, it's not true, because one Bitcoin now costs almost 12,000 US dollars. It's a huge amount of money. So you don't need one full Bitcoin to get started. There is this. Let me explain it. One Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million units. Each unit is called Satoshi. For example, like US dollar, there's a cent. So there's unity in Bitcoin. So those units, they took one Bitcoin, they divided 1 million units. Each unit is called Satoshi. So you don't need to buy full Bitcoin to get started. You can start from Satoshi, 0.5 Satoshi. It's just money. There's a limitation of blockchain because it's an early stage. It means it's a new technology. We don't have specialists. We don't have experts. It's just the new things. That's why some people don't trust it. We don't have, for example, if we talk about aviation, you have some people who are very expert in aviation because aviation started a long time ago, almost 100 years. But Bitcoin and blockchain, it's only 10 years. We don't have so many experts in that field. That's a limitation number one. And there is another limitation is no reversal modifications. As I said, for example, if I'm dealing with you and I send you money, there's no way to send me back my money, especially in business activity. If you want to buy something from Japan, you send your money, and then you don't like it, there's no way to send you back your money. While the other methods such as Swift transfer, you can make a deal, you can buy something. When you don't like it, you can say, oh no, I don't like your item, please send me back your money. It's possible. So for Bitcoin with blockchain, it's not possible. Once you pay, it's over. There is another big limitation, is key management. Key management is the key, you know. To get your Bitcoin, you need a key, one key. So the problem is now to save that key. It's a long string, you cannot memorize it, right? But the problem is how to save it in a secure way. For example, if you have the key and you forget it or you lose it. And some people, they are sending you Bitcoin. It's nothing because you are not going to get your Bitcoin because you don't remember your key or you don't remember where you put your key. So that's a problem. But there is a way you can store your key. You can store hot storage or cold storage. Hot storage means you can store it online using a cloud system. And cold storage, you can store it somewhere else, such as you can put in a box, you can write somewhere, you can put in a box. But the problem is that the advantages of cold storage, it has a low availability. Suppose someone has sent you money, you want to get it immediately, you don't remember where your key is, you locked it down somewhere, and you run, and you open. So by the time you are coming back, it doesn't have a good reliability. Availability. But when it's hot storage, it's online. The availability is higher. So this is the resources I provided for you. If you like the presentation, you want to learn more, those are websites. They are genuine, original. They provide information you need to know blockchain and Bitcoin. This blockchain.info, they post everyday news about Bitcoin and blockchain. This BIT, Blockchain Institute of Technology, it's an institute that is in charge of blockchain. They teach people courses, online courses. They are free courses, some you can pay, but it's a great way to learn if you are interested in blockchain. There are so many other websites over there. They provide everything you need so that you can really understand what blockchain is. Thank you so much for your kind attention. If you have any questions, you can share. Okay.
Questions, please.
How do you see the future of Bitcoin, and what is bad side of this currency?
Thank you so much for your
drawbacks.
What's your name?
Ivan.
Ivan, thank you so much for your question. So what I see the future of blockchain is that it's more than you can think. It's the future where it can be spread all over the world, and not only in cryptocurrency, it will be applied in other businesses, healthcare services, everywhere. So that's why we need to learn and read about blockchain. Because it's a problem that's solved. It's been around many years ago, but people, they solve it now. It can be applied in many areas, not only in cryptocurrencies. So the bad side about that is that some cryptocurrencies, the people use it for not really criminal activities, but for bad activities. For example, we have, last time we had ransomware. Ransomware is some kind of attack. They attack computer systems, and then they encrypt your data. To have back your data, you need to pay so that they can send you a key to use to get back your data. So that ransomware was called Bad Rabbit. It started from Ukraine. Yeah. It's from Odessa, Metro, Kiev. So, but when they locked your data, the screen, it was saying, oh sorry, you can't access your data. To access your data, you need to pay in Bitcoin. So that's the bad side. Because some people, they say, oh, Bitcoin is used for just bad guys to get back pay. That's the bad side, I think, for cryptocurrencies. Because the people, bad guys, they can hide themselves so that they can get paid in cryptocurrency. You're welcome.
Okay, and what do you think about exactly crypto money? So will everybody use Bitcoin, Ethereum, other kind of money in future, or in future nobody will use it and we will use blockchain for other things?
Okay, thank you so much. I think from my point of view, what I see is that people, or everyone, will use cryptocurrency. For example, here when I say it's in the early stage, but look what you have. You have 2,200 99 Bitcoin ATMs, right? So when it's in early stage, people, they don't understand it. But the more we have people who teach about Bitcoin, the more people understand, and the more people will use it, because it's kind of, it gives you freedom, right? For example, if you have like 10 million in the bank, you want to send it to someone else you want to do business. First of all, bank will use you. Why are you sending this money? They want to verify your identity. But when you have your blockchain, Bitcoin, no one will ask you, why are you going to send your money? Just you use your phone and you transfer the money immediately without the third party. Because people, they want freedom, they want to be free about their money. So there's a time I went to the bank, I needed the money, they said, oh, sorry, we don't have money. Went down, sorry, we don't have money. You understand? It's drawn back. But when you have your Bitcoin, no one will tell you, okay, we don't have enough money. It's just your money. You play with it, you send it, you give it to who you want. Thank you.
Okay, one of the good points of blockchain technology is that you don't need a bank.
Yes, you don't need a bank.
But bank is not only bad things that can protect your money. Like, I mean, you can make now business, like you use Bitcoin with Syria, but Syria has some United Nations sanction, and you can't make a business real. But blockchain gives you this recommendation for this. Like, no one bank can provide this for you, but you can use blockchain technology for these big bad things, like make a business with country who has a sanction. So think about it, how we can protect our money from this business.
So you mean for people who can use blockchain?
Yeah, like bank, no one bank can provide you transaction to Syria or Libya, some countries that have sanction now. But blockchain, they don't follow track this money.
Yeah,
what you can settle this?
I got it. Thank you for your question. You are right, bank, they are there to verify everything, to ensure security, to ensure that it's not, money is not going for laundering, for criminal activity. But for blockchain, you can do whatever you want. So what I think is that it's blockchain, it's unstoppable. No, there is it's kind of, if you start to read it, you will start liking it, but it's kind of, it's something beyond imagination, because first of all, they said it was created by the people. We don't know people who created it, right? And then the other side, it's giving freedom to people. People are using it, just they are free. The other side, it's using by hiding, as you said. Use it to do your productivity, to hide yourself. So what I think is that now, no one, the banks, recently, the banks and government, they are against blockchain or Bitcoin. But what I think, it's, you cannot stop it, because it's something that has been solved using human brain, thinking, cryptography, and it's unstoppable. So from my point of view, I think it will be like, if you want to use it for criminal activity, you will not be stopped. You can hide yourself. If you want to use it for good things, yeah, it's your business.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. I have two questions. First one, as I understand, blockchain in general is absolutely positive technology. Yes?
Yes.
But we have a few limitation related to increasing of networking traffic in this case. And if we imagine that all people use blockchain, what about the possibility of modern and future networks to support or assure traffic in this case?
So, thank you so much for your question. First of all, the more we have people who want to use blockchain, as you said, the more we need the resources, we need traffic, we need power, because they consume a lot of power. I heard that people, nowadays, there are people who are trying to use what we call crypto mining. They use computers to just to mine to get cryptocurrency. So I think for businesses, for people who want to be in blockchain and Bitcoin technology, first of all, we need to think about resources where we are going to gain this power. It's a huge problem because if, for example, there is a power plant station here and it's generating electricity, and if there are those attacks, that is crypto mining, they use the electricity that was designed to supply people, and they use it for just mining, getting Bitcoin. We will run out of electricity. So that's it. I think in the future, the people who are in charge, engineers, government, they should think and come out to see how they can increase the power, because still Bitcoin is still good.
Yes, hence we can conclude that blockchain technology is controversial to green energy.
Yes.
Yes. And do you know anything about green issues or green R&D related to blockchain development?
Not really, a little bit, not really.
I can add something about the green aspect of Bitcoin, or sorry, blockchain technology. There is a way to solve this problem. Maybe it's possible to create maybe universal blockchain technology, not only for cryptocurrencies, but for all maybe kinds of electronic communications that require these technologies. Maybe education, maybe medicine, maybe some production where we need to prove maybe the date of some products using blockchain technology, and so on. And it's possible to process maybe blocks that consist from different types of information about maybe completely different items together at the same blockchain. And maybe it's possible to shift such communication between some big maybe data centers in different countries to prove thus blockchain maybe history. Thus data centers will be placed in different countries, and it may be used like some proof that no one can change the data inside. So it's possible to reduce the power consumption in this case.
Yes, I think it's a very good point for research and development, but I think maybe to apply blockchain in general, yes, maybe we need to think about new paradigm of networking in general. And it may be the driver for development of modern networking paradigm, networking knowledge. Because really we have some problems with application blockchain in point of view green issues, in point of view power consumption increasing and so on. Okay, thank you. And second, my question is the following.
No. My comment is after your point.
Okay. Second question is more simple. What about your master thesis? Will be your thesis related to blockchain technology? No?
It's related to cybersecurity in the business critical system, electronic commerce, cybersecurity.
But maybe you need to think about combining of.
I'm still thinking, but it's whatever it will be to include cybersecurity.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe someone want to add something. You want? Yes, I want. So thank you again for your report. In your report you provided a clear difference between blockchain technology and Bitcoin itself, but there are a few disadvantages, drawbacks of Bitcoin, and we should remember it. The first one is a long period of transaction. Yeah, one transaction performs one time per 10 minutes. And to prove it, we need at least 6 confirmation. It's 1 hour. Also, all persons that want to use, or maybe the biggest 2 parts of persons that want to use Bitcoin, it's the first part of the person that want to hide the transaction. Another one, the person that want to invest some money and wait for increasing of price. But the Bitcoin, maybe the main advantage of this technology is maybe fast transfer and reducing the fees of banks. But now it's not allowed. And in this way, maybe it's possible to use another blockchain-based technologies that use not limited currencies, but the currencies that produced at the same time when you buy the fiat money. And if you want to back this currency to fiat money, it will be destroyed or removed from the old amount. It's like a teaser. It is clear. So in this way, it's possible to leave the same price of some currency, and maybe it's possible to increase the time of confirmation. In this case, it's possible to use the cryptocurrency for all payments, but now maybe it's not easy. Okay, if you want to comment my comment, you can. If no, thank you again for your report.
I have one suggestion. Yesterday, Vice Rector called me and asked about presentation our foreign students at the conference, which will be in March 23. Maybe you know.
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
Are you planning to?
Yes, I'm preparing some presentation for the. I asked, they said, because our university is more specific about aviation, so I'm trying to think about something that can combine cybersecurity and aviation. Yes. So that will be my presentation.
Okay, I think such presentation will be very interesting for students. And my recommendation is maybe add some more technology issues in your presentation and the topic for research and development. And I think in this case, this presentation will be very interesting for all students. Okay, let's talk after that.
Yeah. Thank you. The next report is, please. The next report is related with Scrum methodology. Please, Stanislav Taran.
So, in your mind, you can think, what is Scrum and how it linked with our direction? And the answer for this question is that Scrum is an agile framework for managing work with an emphasis of software development. But what is agile? Agile helps to developers make their process of working better. So, Agile helps us to connect 3 parts of this process. It's customer, a group of developers, and exactly
mentors. So, what is Scrum? One thing that you should know that Scrum is used for complex projects. So, if you have a big company which consists from 3 to 9 developers, and the part of mans which handled by these programmers, and customer. So this technology gives us opportunity to reduce the highest profit from our process of developing the software. So Scrum is not used only for software development. As I said earlier, it can be used in any direction of work which needs to connect a big amount of people. So, what is the principal keys of Scrum? Principal key of Scrum is the dual recognition that customers can change their minds about product which they need at the finish of this process. Such Scrum adopts an evidence-based empirical approach, accepting that the problem cannot be fully understood or defined upfront, and instead focusing on how to maximize the team's ability to deliver quickly and respond to emerging requirements and to adapt to evolving technologies and changes in conditions. So, on this slide you can see the creators of Scrum. On the right side is Ikujiro Nonaka, and on the left side is Hirotaka Takeyoshi. So, Scrum based on 3 roles: product owner, Scrum Masters, and development team. So, during this process, product owner can give for Scrum Masters some changes which he needs to add in final product. So team developer team is a team which will development team is a team which will code this this stuff and push in product. So, how Scrum works? We have sprints. Sprint is fixed duration, fixed period of time.
May I help you?
Yes.
So, as far as I know, sprint is, as you said, fixed amount of time during which the development team, as you said, has to solve some parts of the problem. So there are few sprints during the whole life cycle, and in each sprint you have to fix tasks which your team has to do, right? And
Yes,
at the end of the sprint, you have to give your results.
Yes. Thank you very much. And at the start of the project, Scrum Masters choose which period of time is equal to one sprint. So actually, in big companies, makes every 24 hours daily Scrum meeting. So on these meetings, Scrum Masters and team of developers discuss what they should do today, and maybe if customer needs to add some features to projects, and how they can do it or release. The beginning of each sprint, the Scrum team holds a sprint planning event to select some product backlog items that can be completed in one sprint. So recommended duration, as I say, it's for a 2-week sprint. Duration, the sprint every 24 hours makes daily meetings. So what will they do at the end of this at the end of sprint? They are reviews that work which was completed. Sorry. They present the completed work to customer, and he gives his opinion on is fine or needs something to fix or add new features. What is sprint backlog? Sprint backlog, it's actually the list of things which were done during the sprints or daily sprint. And in the end of all, we have a potentially shippable product increment. So thank you for your attention. You're welcome to ask questions.
Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, so Scrum is like some kind of management of team with developers?
Not only for developers, but
like,
yes.
Owner who wants this business life?
Not owner. You have a team, you have a big team, and you need to make your process better and organize it for the fastest working. And in the end of this all, you need a good product which will be allowed by the customer. So, for example, if you need to if you need for building, you come to some kind of architect firm, and they have architects and someone who stay higher than architects. You give your needs, and during this whole process, Scrum helps you to add something and control all this, the programming treat.
But I think it's like now when we want some project made, go to some like IT, go to some IT firm and you speak with business analysis, and he make like technical task. What you want, how it's work. Why I should like every 24 hours ask the team what are you doing? Like I'm just
no, sorry, I will try our talk. So the idea of Scrum is exactly separating the task, the big, massive task, into some pieces that are available for doing for a short time.
Yes.
For example, you have 2 weeks of Scrum, and you have 5 kilos of tasks, and you can't do them just immediately. You have a big team, you have a lot of people, and then you don't know what to do.
so the project manager gives you for you.
You want something, you come to IT company, as you said, and you talk with the business analysis. He listens to everything you tell him, and then he writes the task. And then he goes with the team, not you.
Okay.
You don't care. So you care about the end of the sprint. Only at the end of the sprint, you contact business analysis, and then you talk with him about things that were done. So not with the team. Team works with analysis, with a team lead, as they call it.
Yeah, just like a kind of management.
Yes.
Like side company.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, what I don't really understand. What's the main difference between the Scrum method in a small company and in the large company, like 200 people?
It's no different because you divide every team and this team working with their project. So if you have a small company, you can't take a lot of projects. So there are no difference between a small company or a big company. You have a fixed group of team of workers, and you have, for example, in IT company, you have a project manager, you have a group of developer, and no difference between if it will be group from 5 developers or from 9 or from 10, 20. So it's only a principle which helps us to make this process faster and better.
As I understand, it can be a big number of people, a small number of people. It doesn't matter how many people are. It just can be applied anyway. Big people, just small company or big company. You can find Scrum in those companies, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I know in start of your speech you said that Scrum works with 3 to 9 groups.
So actually,
why have these borders 3 and 9? Now you said that it's 10, 20, it doesn't matter how many groups.
I'm sorry, I had a mistake. The group between the difference between a group or company. Every group have their tasks and they are working on it. And company has a lot of these tasks. So this company divides on groups by fixed number of people.
Yeah, so it was not about the people, but about number of groups. For example, you want to see your project.
Groups or 59 people?
People in group.
No.
People
groups. Groups. Exactly groups. So for example, by
39,
your professionality, so like you can be you have a group of testers.
Yeah,
so you have architects, designers, developers, a lot of them. So I think that it's about group because my parents have all-time experience of Scrum, and I know that in their teams, so like in their groups, there are different amounts of people, from 3 to 8, 9, something like that. So, and the idea is to simplify these groups and then unite them at the end. So I don't think that it's actually that it actually depends on the number of people in the group, 2 or 6 or 9. So the idea is all the same. Maybe these, separations are not really correct, so you can decide as you wish.
I think that you can do the Scrum principle with any amount of groups and people, but more groups and people you have, the more difficult management becomes. So 3 to 9 people is like optimal amount of people in the group to work fast.
Yes, of course. You can create a group from each number of people, but your aim is the fastest and the best way to done your project.
So who decided how much time we need? Who decided how much time we need to? How many amount of time? How we need to separate our time for the some circle of this problem? One circle. Who decided or how he does it?
Understood your question, thank you. As you can see on this picture, daily Scrum meeting makes every day. So you choose only the duration of sprint, and it's the task of project manager or someone who organizes this group.
So every day we can change the days we have left for the end of sprint?
No. The start of all process, you choose the duration of the sprint. At the start of each sprint, you contact with your customer if he needs to add something to project, make some fixes or something else. So you have a list of tasks, and you should to sort all these tasks for this sprint. For example, for Saturdays. So you have the list, and during these Saturdays you have to do all of them. And the next stage is daily Scrum meetings. So decides which duration of sprint, making only on the starting of the project.
Okay. So
and will not change during this process.
But every time when we separate our log in the sprint backlog,
yes, of course.
We can change this days for the sprint.
Okay.
So it depends on the task. As Stas said, you have a list of tasks. And for example, you did a half, and then there's an end of the sprint, and you talk to the customer. And customer says, whoa, stop. I want big red button inside of this program. And you say, come on, guy, we don't have this in our task. He said, I don't want to listen to you, I want this button. So you take this task and add it to other tasks. So you think, come on, we can't make it in 30 days. We need, for example, 35 days. And so you write sprint is less than 35 days. Or for example, you look and I don't know, I don't want this function now. Delete it, delete it. I don't want you to do this. And then you can make not 30 days sprints, but 25 or 20, as far as you know.
So for customer better than you have a short sprint, because I can control more things.
As I say,
not really, because
like it's your sprint every retail project, I can make more predictions.
usually customers are aware of what they want to have. So usually they don't change the things. So they don't really like to meet with the team every week. They don't have time. They're businessmen.
Okay.
Time is money.
Okay.
So you don't want to spend just talking to people. So they don't need it.
Like in theory, the shorter sprint is better for your customer because I can control more.
Not really, because you have to understand that not all the functions can be released in even 30 days. So you can have a team from 10 developers, like the most skilled developers, but they can't do some functions just in 30 days. It's just impossible.
So
and
Scrum
in a week,
is
it's just crazy.
real cool things only for big projects for like website. It's doesn't do the need to make
It's
Scrum.
more comfortable to use.
Yeah, like
For
for big
team,
projects.
for customers, for all, yes, for big projects. But if it's a small project, you don't have so many tasks to do. So you can have one sprint. Like you have just 30 days to do, and that's it.
Okay, see, thank you.
Like 9 women cannot burn the child during the month.
Okay, we can say that Scrum approach is approach to tolerate unpredictable behavior of customers. No.
Yes.
That's one of the main issues.
In one side, yes. So it helps customer to be in the in this all. Следить.
To be in control.
To be in control. Thank you. To be in control for this whole process. So he can watch all changes which were done in the sprint backlog and add or remove some new features.
Okay. And the next question is, what about connection, about relationship between Scrum as a framework and different life cycle models, similar waterfall, spiral, V model, and so on?
The difference in the way how to organize all this process.
My question is not about difference. My question is about possibility of combination, of combining different life cycle models with Scrum as approach, as a framework to development, to management, to project management.
It's a good question. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, but
yes. I can maybe not help discuss about my experience, because my experience more related to development of critical software and critical systems, similar reactor ship systems, onboard system for vehicle, for space and so on. Maybe you know about V model, yes? As model of life cycle model. No? Yeah. And so why we talk, why this model is called V? Because we have software requirement development, yes. Next one is system requirement development, software requirement development, and architecturing, coding, and so on. And all these processes have verification phases here, here, and here. And this part of this process is validation. And as a result of application of such model, we have testing. We have to answer question: are these requirements on the all stages of development meet requirements in general? And so my question is: can we apply Scrum as project management approach to such very sophisticated project?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Just the question to the project manager, because there are different groups separated, as you wrote on the desk, but they are all the time connected to each other. So they all the time communicate with each other.
Yes, hence in this case we need manager of such project have to keep in mind. For example, very important part is verification. Verification step by step. Step of the first, second, and after that integration, validation, and so on. I'm not sure that such approach can be applied in completely. Maybe some part of such approach can be applied. I read a lot of papers related to application Agile and Scrum for critical software. It's a very interesting topic because now really we have a lot of challenges for such system. But you understand that for systems similar reactor trip system, similar onboard control system, and so on, we need very strongly meet requirements of standards and requirements of specification. It is not a question, it's just maybe comments and
very interesting.
Invitation to this topic, because it's really interesting.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Does someone have questions?
If no, we can tell you thank you again. It was interesting, and thank you all of you for discussion, for conversation. Thanks for Professor Kharchenko for this brief lecture about the applying of Scrum methodology to the critical systems, or maybe combination between V model and another development approaches, and so on. Thank you all for all of you, and maybe we will meet during the month or months and a half with new topics. If someone wants to take a part in those meetings, please welcome. You can ask Mr. Brezhnev about the possibility to take a part, and you can contact with Jean-Pierre using provided mobile phone. So please welcome. And for now we are closing our meeting.
Can I put two comments?
Please, of course.
Just my comments is the following. I think we and myself as well we need to do some efforts to extend participants. Yes, amount of participants.
I sent the mails to all students of first and second courses, and not only.
Because I understand that students have not a lot of possibility to communicate in English. Yes, it's a very good possibility. Not only communicate and study and go ahead, take into account very interesting technology, very interesting topics. So my first comment, and I would like to help as administrator of our department to extend the amount of participants. Together with Artem Evgenievich, 2 weeks ago we participated and we organized a winter school for 8 universities of Ukraine. It was about 50 students, PhD students, master students, bachelor students and lecturers. It was very interesting event. And so we can continue this experience here.
Yeah, and all presentations were in English.
Only in English. Because we understand that we need know English, maybe French. Okay. And my second comment is about presentation. Let's first.
It's working.
The first slide. Okay, it's just my recommendation concerning slide, concerning presentation. Usually, any presentation should have logo of university, and maybe logo of department, and maybe a logo of your club. Yes, because it's a presentation here. It's the first thing. Second one, it's data of event. Okay, data and Ukraine, Kharkiv, High department, and so on. The next one, sorry. Title here. This title usually repeats keywords of your presentation, your name, and so on. And then next. It is not very good style, yes, because we when we saw this slide, we tried to read all text. I think it would be better if we divide this text into a few more understandable, more keyword basic practice. It's a general recommendation, but it's our study. Yes.
That's the first presentation, so I.
Okay. Can you go over that? Thank you so much. What's more?
Thanks for all our reporters, for Stanislav also, because it was the first reported ZAS meetings and many first reported in English, so everything is okay. And the idea.
One additional question.
Additional question.
Sorry. What does it mean?
IOD.
IOD.
Yes.
22 hours later, you can know what does it mean. Tomorrow we organize our per month seminar, workshop on critical technology and systems, CRITPACS, and Artem Evgenievich is one of the information administrator of this seminar. I am scientific supervisor of this seminar. Internet of drones. Okay? And so tomorrow we will talk about this technology, about Internet of Things, about drone-based technology for monitoring for different very interesting sophisticated applications. And so welcome to this conference this tomorrow at 3 p.m. in room number 238.
Yeah. 238. Thank you again.
Thank you.